My name is Chief Maja Umeh, former Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism, Anambra State, member Board of Trustees of All Progressive Grand Alliance APGA, and life patron of the same APGA. I was reacting recently to the resolution of the differences the government of Anambra State had with the traditional rulers. When this thing started, initially, the government reaction to the conferment of chieftaincy title by Igwe, and then snowballed into reaction too from the chairman of the Traditional Rulers Council, His Majesty Igwe Achebe of Onitsha. For all of those of us who have the interest of this state at hand, it was a lot worrisome for me. As a matter of fact, for some nights I lost sleep because I found it as a very unhealthy development in the state that needed to be resolved urgently. So when eventually His Excellency the Governor, Professor Soludo, took the initiative to invite the chiefs and then had a heart-to-heart talk with them and resolved the matter, my day was made. So I had to issue a press statement commending His Excellency the Governor, His Majesty, and the entire Ndigwe for a peaceful and mature resolution of those differences. I was very happy, and I describe it as the true Anambra spirit at work. That is the way we do our things in this state. So I'm so happy that the fathers and the government and everybody came together and ended that matter to the glory of God. So it was a very heartwarming development, and everybody who has interest of this state at hand rejoiced at it. So I commend the governor for the way he handled it. I also commend His Majesty and the entire Ndigwe for coming out to solve this problem. I was very proud of Anambra. Because what our state needs now is all the peace it can get. The state needs all the peace, because without peace, development will be difficult. Development will be difficult because anytime there's a kind of major misunderstanding or lack of peace, it becomes a distraction. And instead of using useful resources and time to attend to the enormous challenges in the state, government will be using that time to quell distractions and all that, which is not very healthy. That is not to say that citizens cannot talk or do not suggest or work with government or any opinion. We're not in, what is it called, a dictatorship, we're still a democracy. But then in anything we do, whether we are criticizing, advising or whatever, the welfare of Anambra State, the well-being of Anambra State must be uppermost in our minds, because we must draw a line between statism and politics. It's important, because some of us who are in this politics know that the politician is thinking of the next election, but the statesman is thinking about the next generation. And that guy is the way he approaches issues. You cannot, because of politics, do things that can endanger the next generation or compromise the next generation. No statesman acts like that. Politicians can talk about the next election, and thank God the election is not this year. So let's see how we can cooperate with the government, because Anambra State have been known to cooperate with their government. And let me use this opportunity to thank Indian Anambra for the support they've given APGA, our party, and the various governments who have produced for this state in the past 18 years. The state must be taken serious, and so candidates of first light. Given the particular nature of our people, as a diaspora-based people, as highly entrepreneurial people who are adding a lot of values internationally and locally to economic growth of our region. So what we're trying to do is to ensure that this developmental pattern is consistently maintained. That is why you need a planner in your system. That is why you need somebody who is a macroeconomist to move you to the next level. We're talking about the Anambra child. What is it going to be in the next 20 years? That is the concern of APGA. That is why we're bringing Soludo come and set a pattern for already established and working developmental and progressive pattern that APGA government has established in the state. I want to thank you very much because consistency is key in development. Like I gave the example of Lagos State back in the days of Awolowo's Action Group, to the UPN that came in Second Republic, to what is it called, AC, APC, and all that. You can see it's one thing, because it helped the government to maintain a developmental pattern. I spoke about this developmental pattern at the inception of this Soludo's campaign, that we should please help and maintain this progression that they have been handed for Anambra State. Because when I look around other states, I know the parties that govern them. I don't think their scorecard is as good as Anambra State in the past 18 years. What we had to do in the rural areas, roads everywhere at the beginning, access food producing area, and all sorts, the enormous work in the education sector, and development of all sectors simultaneously at the inception of APGA government. Subsequently, another APGA government came, took it a little bit higher. We now have an airport, an international conference center, and all that. Today, the game changer is there now. So this is something that should be sustained. Today, APGA government under Soludo is also following the same trend of consistent development pattern. So I think it should be encouraged. I think it should be supported. At least in the next 8 years, we will see how he will take Anambra State. Now he has only done 2. So if we continue the way we have been supporting the government of APGA in the past 18 years, we will get to a higher Eldorado. That is my belief. And I think it is correctly based and founded. Because if you look around what is happening now, this is the first 2 years of the government. We're talking about commissioning about 30 roads or more in the next maybe in the next 2-3 months, March, April, and the rest of it. It's an enormous achievement, And we saw what is happening in innovative district. ICT has the key to the future. We will dominate this country with ICT. He knows what he's doing. It's not just showing for today. So the government is on course. By the time others wake up around here, Anambra State has gone too far. I saw what they did with the American embassy the other day, ambassador. It's all about the same innovative district. It's the future. Then even as we speak, I know when I also advertise for employment of health workers, doctors, and teachers, these things we all done. Then he did something again that is futuristic. That's what I'm saying, that a statesman thinks of the next generation. I heard about the two skills, which means you must have 2 skills. One of them you must find your destiny in one of them. That is for your future development. That's human development index is getting there. Then I also saw some things they're also doing in the fisheries. It's about the same creation of human development and creation of employment for our youths. Because that is the greatest instrument in fighting insecurity. So the mind is focused. I can stay in this master room and tell you the way his mind is working. Because we all share these views as young men. Back in the days at University of Nigeria and Sugar. We had this in mind. I'm happy it is coming accordingly. That he hasn't lost focus on those wonderful ideas. So I want to plead with our people to continue to support. If you look around your neighboring states, those who are supporting other parties, you see what I'm saying. None of them is like Anambra State. Some people, in some neighboring states, because they have not invested in human development, their people are roaming around Anambra State, causing us a lot of confusion. Meanwhile, they have airports. So if your people had a home, why are they roaming all over the place? Living in all sorts of slums, causing us of insecurity. These are part of the problems we're talking about. It has to do with the party and the focus of the people. They don't do this transactional governance. We must stop. We must begin to consolidate. If there's some of them, all the roads they have built in their state are concentrated in the capital. But most Anambra people don't even know where their capital is because the roads are scattered all over the place. It started under this APGA government. Led then by Peter. Very wonderful fellow. They followed by another great leader. And now we have our professors. So you can see that these people have continued to make sure that Anambra persons and developed kids are given a future. The next generation is not lacking in anything. They're being prepared. We're giving them all the preparation they need to cope with the future. And having acquired this knowledge, I think Anambra will be better for it in the future. That's why I say that statesmen think of the next generation. Politicians think of the next election.